Our latest modular upgrade is for a MOC that I built a couple years ago, and more on that here in a minute. First, we're going to talk about this MILS plate that is custom built for this. Now, first looking at this, I'm wondering, is this something from like Death Star? I'm thinking that it looks like the landing platform, perhaps. No, this is not. This is an actual custom MILS that I built to account for a special part of this build. Now, let me explain. This MOC I built a couple years ago, and perhaps after I open it up, the top floor, you might start recognizing what's in here. This is my attempt to take in two of the friend sets, the apartment and Central Perk, and creating a modular. Now, there is other modulars that have been built out there that take these sets and combine them. I did my own. I wanted a modular that was 32 by 32. And I also wanted a corner, so I kind of did my own thing. So as you can see there is Central Perk reimagined in this format. One of the best parts about this set is, where they're sitting at the couch. Well, that's what this MILS plate, that's what that hole there is for. See, that will sit in there like this, and we're going to build everything around this. So let's go take a closer look at how I built this. We have a pretty standard template that we use on our MILS, and you can see it here. We were using it really just the outside. Everything else is going to be pretty custom on this. Two things that we have to design for here. Number one, this is a corner modular, so we've got the little crosswalk in the lower right-hand corner. And then we have to do that cutout for that friend's couch that we showed you earlier. And of course, you have to kind of reverse engineer it a little bit to make sure that there is support for each of the plates that go on the top of this. When I originally built this MOC a couple years ago, this was before I decided to go to MILS. So now we have to take this old build and transfer it onto the new MILS plate. Now, I don't want to have a black floor. I want to have a nice tiled floor finish. So we're working on that here as we're transferring everything over. This can be a little bit complicated, especially if there's a couple angles on this build, but a little trial and error, and I'm liking where this is headed. Now, one little issue I just realized, this little panel here with the window, the way it's built, since that's really a sideways window, it's actually just one plate too tall for that space. So I thought about completely rebuilding this, but that was going to cause me some problems too. So what I think I can do is just pop up this plate and embed this down one plate, and I don't think we're going to have a problem. Okay, here's a fix for that issue. 2x4 plate right there, and then this right here gets to the tiling on the inside, and then for that hole that's left, built this new contraption that fits right down in like that, and perfect level. Now it's time to finish off this ground level. We're just kind of finishing up the tiling here around the sidewalk, and then creating a little bit of an outdoor space here. There was one on the original, but it was designed a lot differently than this. Okay, we've got our updates complete to the ground level. I think things are looking pretty good here. It definitely looks like Central Perk from the show. Now, just like what we've done with the other modulars, I think there's some opportunity to make some improvements here. I originally built this a couple years ago, and there's a few things I want to revisit throughout the build. We redid this awning that originally had kind of cut inside over the diagonal door, and that just looks silly. So I think that looks pretty nice going around the whole building. And then added some little details like this was kind of a boring wall here, so I added a little bit of vegetation there. I really like how this turned out. I got this window to kind of pop out. So I thought that was pretty cool. Over here on this side, just added some color, kind of popped out made these windows a little bit bigger, popped them out, and I think that green really adds a nice touch there along that side of the building. And then the top added this railing along the outside, and I really liked how that turned out. Wanted to show you a little bit more about this technique I used on this railing. I'm not sure if I've seen anybody use this element quite like this before. Obviously, you've got this clip on the end. It's used all the time, but I noticed this bar, you can also put it in this little bottom hole here. And I've got this bar going through those two, and it's pretty tight. It doesn't really slide around, so I think that's a nice looking railing, especially for the top of a building like what I was doing here. And two reasons I really wanted to make this a corner. Number one, I think I'm going to need some more corners in my city when I lay it out. And number two, I really like putting these big windows on this side here, and then you can look in and see the Friends gang at the sofa in the coffee shop. I think that's a nice way that you can enjoy that build without having to tear the building apart. You'll just be able to, as you're looking around the city, be able to see that. So now this updated Friends modular is ready to place into our new Lego city. More on that soon.